Learning can be a difficult task, but it doesn't have to be. With the right tools and strategies, you can easily learn whatever you need to know. Hello and welcome to students.com. In this video, we'll explore 8 types of learners and share some helpful learning strategies for each. From students to entrepreneurs, everyone can benefit from learning about their unique learning styles. Number 1. Visual learner. Visual learners learn better when they use pictures, graphics, diagrams, charts, maps, and videos to understand concepts. They're not great at reading words, and they usually prefer to watch rather than listen. They often struggle with math and science because those subjects rely heavily on written language. If you're a visual learner, you may be able to improve your ability to learn by using these strategies. Use photos, graphics, and diagrams to help you remember information. Create mind maps to organize ideas. Draw flowcharts to illustrate complex processes. Make timelines to show relationships between events. Write out mathematical equations to solve problems. Watch video tutorials to learn new skills. Read books instead of textbooks. Use flashcards to memorize vocabulary. Take notes during lectures and seminars. Number 2. Oral learning. Auditory learners learn best through hearing. They prefer to listen to information rather than watch videos or read written material. They're often described as having good recall. This means they remember things better when they hear them instead of reading them. Auditory learners are great at remembering facts and figures, but they struggle with concepts and abstract ideas. To improve your auditory learner's ability to understand concepts, try these tips. Read aloud. Reading out loud helps auditory learners process information better. Use audio recordings. Audio recordings help auditory learners retain information longer. Write down notes. Writing down notes helps auditory learners organize information better. Practice speaking. Speaking practice improves auditory learners' ability to express themselves clear. Play games. Playing games helps auditory learners develop problem-solving skills. Number 3. Verbal learning. Verbal learners learn through words. They're great at reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Visual learners learn through pictures. They're great at drawing, painting, sculpting, and designing. Both types of learners can be effective when used together. So, who is a verbal learner? A verbal learner is someone who learns better through words than through pictures. This type of learner needs to hear information repeated over and over again until they internalize it. Examples include students, teachers, parents, and coaches. How can we improve our verbal learners' ability to learn through words? Here are some tips. Use repetition. Repetition helps verbal learners remember information. Write down information. Writing things down makes them easier to remember. Make notes. Taking notes during lectures or classes helps you remember important points. Read aloud. Reading out loud helps you understand the meaning behind the words. Ask questions. Questions help you clarify concepts and reinforce understanding. Practice. Practice tests, quizzes, and exams help you master the material. Number 4. Physical learner. Physical learners learn through movement and experience. They prefer hands-on activities and games. They're often visual learners who need to see things demonstrated before understanding them. They tend to be better at problem-solving and creative thinking than verbal learners. Physical learners are most comfortable when they're actively engaged in a task. So, if you want to improve physical learning, try these tips. Provide hands-on experiences. Use demonstrations. Give tasks that require physical effort. Make sure there's plenty of room to move. Allow for mistakes. Let students take breaks. Encourage active participation. Don't force students to sit still. Number 5. Logical learner. Logical learners tend to be analytical thinkers who prefer to learn through problem solving and analysis. They're great at math and science and excel at logic puzzles. They often struggle with reading comprehension because they don't understand the meaning behind words. Instead, they prefer to analyze the meaning of words and phrases. To help them improve their logical thinking skills, try these strategies. Ask questions. Write down problems. Use analogies. Solve problems. Create models. Make predictions. Draw conclusions. Learn vocabulary. Number 6. Social learner. Social learners learn through interactions with others. They use social media to connect with others, ask questions, share ideas, and seek feedback. They're interested in learning from peers, colleagues, and experts. They prefer to work alone and don't need constant supervision. Social learners tend to be introverts who prefer to communicate online rather than face to face. They value authenticity over popularity. To improve their social learning skills, social learners should connect with others online and offline, learn from peers, colleagues, experts, and mentors, work independently, value authenticity, ask questions, share ideas, seek feedback, be authentic. Number 7. Solitary learner. Solitary learners tend to be introverts who prefer learning alone. They may not realize they're solitary learners because they don't interact with others during class. They learn better when they're alone, but they need help getting there. Here are some tips to improve solitary learning. Ask questions. Write down notes. Use flashcards. Read aloud. Watch videos. Practice speaking out loud. Take breaks. Get feedback. Number 8. Naturalistic learner. Naturalists are learners who prefer learning through observation and experimentation. They learn best when they're given the opportunity to explore the nature and outdoors. They're often curious and eager to try out new things. They don't mind getting dirty or messy, and they tend to be creative. Here are some ways to help naturalists learn better. Provide hands-on experiences. Allow them to explore and experiment. Give them the freedom to play. Let them explore and experiment at their own pace. Encourage them to ask questions. Help them find answers to their questions. Show them how to use tools and equipment safely. Teach them how to solve problems. Make them feel safe. Understanding your learning style is an important step in maximizing your success as a student. So, take some time to assess your own learning style and then start experimenting with new study methods that play to your strengths. Good luck!